I'm thinking, oh shit, this is not nice.
Been there, seen it, done it.
They're supposed to be theatre goers. You know, what am I doing outside in 3 layers of clothes?
Oh, you might be like the after party or the drinks party, pre-drinks party.
Outdoors. Anyway.
Anywho, right. Good morning. This is episode 6, maybe. I should have checked on that. It was episode 6 of Grey Matters. I'm Gary. This is Alison. And we're going to be talking about, let's say, achievements.
Yes.
Hang on. Resume. Right.
We are timing it.
We are timing. Yeah. So I'm very conscious that I dominate conversations and I ramble on. So we're trying to keep these very, very focused. Achievement, and I am going to start the conversation all about myself. On the 2nd of October, had the World of Cherub exhibition event at Eden, and it was a culmination of 3 years work. Gone in a completely different direction to my original vision, which was a small exhibition 6 months after I started.
Oh, right, okay.
And if
you're on 2D. 2D.
Just 2D,
okay.
yeah. Well, I didn't at that point. I'd only ever edited self-tape videos on my phone.
Yeah.
And then it was something that came up that, I got not reprimanded. I got sent back. I'd sent self-tapes because I didn't know how to stitch them all together.
Right, okay.
And I thought, then I accidentally found that I got a video editing function on my laptop and explored that. And then, so initially, yes, I was thinking maybe if the wind was in a good direction and I'd got somebody that was really, really focused, I'd probably get about 12 decent shots, because my intention was the same, which was to do get a cross-section on one person, so it's not, as I frequently talk about other photographers, a photo booth, there's a couple of people that have spent 10 years producing exactly the same picture but with different people. Not that kind of guy. I want to explore, I want to find something out about the person. So yeah, initially it was going to be, say, short term, whatever, and it just worked out remarkably well, the fact that Mark was incredibly committed. And photogenic. Yes, absolutely. But it was, if I had a tick box exercise about what I'd achieved vs my intention, which was to see somebody develop and grow, and Mark came to me, I think, the right time in his life, and likewise for myself, because the culmination of it as a much bigger thing than I...
Did you know each other before?
I had no concept of who he was, and I'm going to say I should have done.
Oh really?
Just because of
scene.
Queer demographics, it's like... this is something I heard a long time ago, and I think it was a conversation with an American person, and they knew a gay person in Birmingham, and they asked me, did I know them? And it's like, there's more than half a dozen people. So that's, and I would say it was a reflection of my. Sorry, I'll not say reflection. It was a part of my life that I just did not do. Her Street. It was. I know a lot of people moan about gay villages, that they're this, they're that. I had a partner that just did not want to go because, just didn't want to go because he was totally antisocial. No, I think it was more to do with his personality.
Oh really?
Yes, yeah, definitely. I'd not been in that environment other than I'm going to say as a tourist.
Okay.
If something really grabbed my interest, I'd go and I remember going to see Twiggy revive. Well, not necessarily revive because he doesn't always do his lip syncing acts all the time. It's a kind of a rare treat. And if you like to be offended, as I do, absolutely guaranteed. Guaranteed. I did laugh very, very hard at some of the really clutchy pearls moments. A lot about Heather Mills at the time. So I didn't know. And then when I'd say got in conversation with Mark, I googled him, and all I could find it was something to do with furniture. And we've actually had a recent conversation what it was, because I thought, oh, he's makes lovely cabinets, but no. So meeting Mark, a bit of I didn't know, clean slate, if you want to call it a clean slate. So it was a learning process for both of us, and I'm going to say Mark is a person of like real diversity and if I could sing and things like that, I certainly would have mentioned that right maybe at the start. However, it was about a year in, and so a year in, and talks about, so it wasn't straight off doing music videos. So it was something. So
he came to you for
a boudoir shoot for the right, for the reasoning. For the reasoning that for me is a service I provide for. I'm not going to say the lost and disenfranchised franchise because, but it's.
They need a boost.
Need a personal boost, and like for myself, I had a period where I'd done all the people pleasing, which had never worked, and I was I'd done jobs that I hated just to get by and things like that, and then I got to a point where I was lost as a person. It was just, I was that photocopy where the photocopier ink had run very low and maybe a colour or two had disappeared. So it's a part of me discovery and me being who I am, and tying into I like inclusivity, and I like different demographics. I don't want to see the same old boring ass shit that you see on a regular basis. And I had this conversation on Saturday about bodies, and it was about being sold a certain look because you effectively are a commodity to be sold to. So, and I resist.
Welcome to women's world.
I know. Well, yeah, it's say body oppression is big business, and it's like when we were going through lockdown, how many commercials were there for Peloton?
Absolutely.
So it's and I've tried to resist that. As a person, you can't sell anything to me.
Well, you can't tell.
I'm so weak-willed when it comes. No, it's absolutely. It's like I've tried the gym. It's not a fun culture for me. I'd prefer it if there was like a chat corner that you could go along, rather than have. I've never wanted to be a muscle guy. It's never been my remit, and I went because it was the Erdington gym, and I went because I was getting near to 20 stone. You're heading towards type 1 diabetes, and you've got a fatty liver. So I thought I'll just shut them up. I'll go, and I didn't enjoy it. The gym instructor I had, it was just such a cliche.
Yeah,
and it's like
many of them are.
many of them are, and I'm sorry, Jimmy Structures. I know it should work, and that's
yeah, but the ones who pursue it as just work are the ones you don't want to work with.
That's right. Yeah. So anyway, so yeah, Mark came to me for the right reasons, and if I was Mark at that point, I would have done something very similar, which would have been sought out somebody that could represent me.
Yeah.
And
but represent to who?
I think it's just self. It's so represent and validate. So represent and validate, and it's like well, when we're talking about the music, that the Tainted Love video, and your fear of seeing it, which I totally get, because I think, do I put myself in that position? Not often. But I have done. Come on, you've seen me dancing in fetish gear for punctual. So, but it was that and saying, I am. Well, we are our ages, 65 and 68. I just 67. So, like, when I was a teenager, people like us. We were old, Jeez. And going round on little sticks and
I still see my age against people and think, shit, you're old, and then I'm like, oh.
So to me that was completely unrelatable, and it's like I'm still here, and that a lot. It's proving your existence to a degree, and we're all fighting against invisibility to some extent. Yes, it's if you're not the perfect body, the perfect age, the perfect whatever. Yeah, and I like imperfections in people. I use a quote from Alexander McQueen about seeing beauty in everything, and it's not. If you've watched the documentary, the McQueen documentary, you. No, that was from a genuine place. It's not a PR phrase to I've created something really hideous, but if I say it's really, really beautiful, it is really beautiful. But no, there is things that he saw, the ugly things that you see as beauty, and one of the things that I absolutely adore is the Voss catwalk show with all the one-sided mirrors, and then as the model puts it, who wants to see a fat lady inside a glass box with a gas mask and moths all over her? Me, I was absolutely electrified, and I would love to have been there. I say the drama, things like that, but the celebration of the body was just absolutely beautiful. So to me, I feel that Mark got my message, and he totally embraced it. And there's one thing that he is, as a man without complete bullshit, and again, it was like what I see. There was no point that he ever thought, I don't want to do that. And then they got to a point where he was saying, well, this is my idea, and we've had the conversation afterwards, was that he felt confident enough to tell me what he thought was a really good idea, and he's like, brilliant. And one of the things that I absolutely adore in the Justify My Love video is the mannequin kissing. That's not my idea. That was. But you can see through the images how he grows in confidence through the process. Yes. Because he's not shot down last time, so next time you can go a little bit further. Yes. Yes. And it was beautiful to watch. Yes, thank you very much. And it's one thing that it's not a negative comment, and somebody did say they thought I was quite stressed, and it was like, and I for a long time would not show stuff, my new digital stuff, I wouldn't show it to the public. For all that criticism thing, and it does take quite a big step to actually get out there and do it. And when did you realise that 98% of the public are irrelevant when it comes to
judging your work?
I think it was about 15 years ago, and it was. Well, it did coincide with somebody whose artistic opinion I respected, and they actually used one of my images as a wallpaper on a computer, and I thought that was nice. And it was just like, well, I like your character and you like what I do, so therefore we've got this kind of connection. So it was part of the gradual evolvement of me showing my stuff out there. And then I took things into the marketplace with mostly art market, which it did alright. It didn't do brilliant, sometimes it didn't sell a thing, but it was putting me out there. And I did get one comment from a punter, said, because I occasionally got placed next door to Penny Dixon. Now, if you can ever imagine somebody that's so polar opposite to me, it's like the light and the dark. And we did, it was quite a good positioning because we were so polar opposites. And this guy said, I did have a few people that come up to me and said they like what I do because it's not nice. Yes. I don't want to be
slightly provocative.
Nice. Yeah, I like to be provocative. So what now that has culminated from the World of Cherub exhibition, so we are planning to go forward. That's not where it culminates.
Yes.
I want bigger, bigger, better, faster, stronger, harder, from the hip. Yeah, man.
Bigger bastards.
Bigger bastards. Yeah. So that is the plan. Mark's up for it, as I was pretty confident that he would be.
Oh, I think because you could see also through the event, he was almost, there was an embarrassment to him through the beginning.
Yeah.
And then as people interacted with him as he moved through
yes.
the room, it was like,
yes,
it's okay, it's okay.
And I say at the end, the intention was just to close it with the cover of him singing against the video backdrop, and that was going to kind of close it. But the energy and the connection and things like that, it took it further, and and I love that impromptu-ness of it. So stress levels, showing yourself thing, and it was the first 15 minutes. A lot of silence.
Well, what do people expect?
Well, a lot of people. That's one of the comments people put. That they didn't know what to expect.
But I mean, in terms of you were stressed.
Yeah,
some of the comments that how would you feel?
Yeah, but normally I'm not. I don't. I've tried to.
Well, you don't seem it.
A lot of the time I'm not.
Okay.
No, it's If I've got an idea and I'm seeing it through, like stress, yes, no, probably not, what have you. But bigger picture is like, so the conversation we had before was, where am I going? I say I do have not a plan, it's a goal. And that goal is to take things further, be more visible in the real world, and I'm working on that. And I will have things. I'm working, and say things are potentially arriving today. So I'm quite excited about that, and I'm not going to self-censor like I've done in the past.
Right, okay.
And I'm going to reference. There's going to be a lot more, and it's not of me, so it's not going to be pictures of me, it's going to be more me in it with influences.
Okay.
So, and if you can unravel all of those influences, there's things I want to really reference that inspired me, and I will give this little idea away. So I've been doing the inclusions on resin, things like that, setting things in resin, like flies and insects and things like that, and I'm working on things like that. But I do love the idea of other pictures going on top of the main picture, and I want to include some things that, like, found things.
Right.
And there's some of the things that I found, I love them because they are so trashy.
Yes.
And it's the hall cards that you see in phone booths.
Yeah.
And I've got a few that me and Daisy collected one day, 2 or 3 times. And I love the really, really awful photography. I love the awful dialogue on them, but I love the directness of them, and I love the reference. It's a sort of old sleazy world reference.
Right, that's interesting. So I find them sad and tragic.
Well, there's that aspect to it, but
because there's stories behind them,
and some
so
many years ago, there was a friend of mine that was doing her art degree. And her project, and I think it's really profound, and it was all based around like the hall cards. Well, that's my terminology. I don't know whether probably business cards. And it was, if you think about it, these are princesses in glass coffins. It's got this mythological feel to it. That there's this mysterious beauty on the other end of I know you're raising your eyebrows, but it's that potential.
I think by the time they've reached that stage, they're more likely to be 43.
Well, yes,
junkie.
Yeah, oh, very likely. But and again, that ties into something else. I saw an artist do. It wasn't a quadript of Greek artwork, but all her models were taken from vintage lesbian porn.
Oh, right.
And so the poses and vibe to the models were taken from there. So, like, the artist, if they were doing it, say, like the 15th century, who these models were likely to be prostitutes. I don't think modelling for an artist...
Civilised women didn't take their kit off.
Exactly. So you've got that element to it. But I like this. We say the title of the thing was Princesses in Glass Coffins. But what she did, I think on the other end, so she produced a business card and put it up and stripped all the other ones out, and then on the other end she'd got a glass box with a mobile phone in it, with that number that was on there, and she was recording the phone calls or the things like that. So I love, to me, that underground wishful darkness, sleazy. So I want to bring in, because I do love the back streets of Soho. I wasn't a cruiser or anything like that, but when I was living in London, I used to go home when I was changing tubes and things like that. Sometimes I'd have a walk through, and one of the times I did see Lee Bowery walking in the distance, and it was like the Wayne that I was telling you about. Said, "Oh, you should have said hello." It's like, what? Me walk over to somebody as amazing as that? Me? No, that wouldn't have happened. So it's like that. So it's me, unfiltered. Self-censoring over, and so that journey to and from Wednesbury was actually quite inspirational. M6. Well, yeah, it's that there is
Where else are you going to do your deep thinking?
Wednesbury.
Every
time.
Or the
so, right, you have. It's over to you. As much.
How do I compress all the achievements in my life?
So, what do you think was your biggest achievement?
Biggest achievement was winning a project for TUI for their head office in Luton, and we were a 2-man band, and we pitched against big London agencies.
Cool.
We had a presentation to them on the Monday. Sunday we were in the office and we had nothing.
Yeah.
And it was probably one of the biggest arguments Don and I have ever had.
Wow.
But we produced some
stuff. It's difficult working with a partner.
Well,
we
worked together before we were partners. And we produced some really, really inspired stuff.
Yeah.
at the last minute, printed it in a certain way that made it more in your face.
Cacti and pot plants.
More in your face. No, we had. Oh, anyway. We were really. It was good.
So that was last minute ideas.
It was last minute ideas. Went in and presented it on the Monday morning, and we had to present again. Where we finessed it a bit because they said, "Oh, some people have added a roof in." It was massive.
Yeah.
It had an open central light well, which turned into an atrium. Wow. It was on 4 floors. This was
natural
a
light,
huge project. It was in the office for 4 years, so it really kept us. And bear in mind, these guys, when they found out we were going to get married in New York, paid for our flight and our hotel.
Like that level of commitment.
Happy client. But that was the making of us.
Fantastic.
Because we're back to the affirming what you didn't dare believe about yourself.
Yeah, that imposter syndrome.
And they saw it. And we didn't find out till later that the chief executive had stood up at a board meeting and they discussed who they were going to use. And they said, well, it's a risk, It's a 2-man band. We'd never pretended we were anything else. And he said, it's a risk I'm prepared to take.
Fantastic.
And that. So we won that.
Love that.
And so it kept us for 4 years.
Yeah.
But it was, I look back on it and I'm still so proud of the concepts there. It still stands up.
Yeah.
The zoning of it, the reveals, the way you walk through the space, and it was, you never saw the whole thing at once, and because that was what they were into, travel and exploration
the journey.
And visiting places you'd never been to. And so we had temperate zone and the different colours to represent different things.
So yeah, right. That was then. What's now?
Oh, now
achievements now.
I don't think I have any particularly. I think I'm more. I've never been as content as I am now.
Yes.
Probably.
I get that.
And my level of self-confidence. I had never walked into a room and felt that I deserved to be in that room until the last 5 years.
Yeah.
And now
because I get that. I'm unworthy.
And I don't feel that anymore. Really. I get nervous.
Yeah.
But it's not that when I walk in I feel inadequate. It's just there's nothing wrong with being nervous. Everyone's nervous.
Yeah. Because I think sometimes if you're not nervous, you come across as too rehearsed.
Yes, absolutely. But I'm a strange mix of hugely arrogant and very
deeply insecure.
Both at the same time.
Yeah.
And I'm both of those things.
I hear you.
But the arrogance, perhaps not the right word, but I deserve to be there. And if you don't see that, then that's your problem and not my problem.
That's the thing that I've taken away from yourself. Is like, it's not your problem.
It's nothing to do with me if you
you can't see my vision, if you don't get the nuances, you do not get my messages. It's your level of communication.
It's not me.
Totally get it.
I don't have to justify or explain myself.
Yes.
And I'm suddenly a big fan of never apologise, never explain as well.
No regrets ever.
No, what's the point?
Yeah, I'm not a huge...
Regret is a hopeless waste of time.
Yes.
Because it's all gone.
Yeah.
It's behind you.
Yeah. But I'm going to shock you as well. I know I haven't explained to anybody, but I have told a couple of people that somebody has actually apologised to me for wasting my time. And it's like, do you know?
What a level of self-awareness you wouldn't expect in anybody else.
I know. So yeah, a lot of positives about that. But yeah, that's totally relatable. Believing that you should be there.
And I don't actually feel that I've got to achieve anything anymore.
Yeah.
Particularly.
Yeah.
Through my working life was striving. When I started modelling, I felt I had to. And I think the problem with the modelling was I started with the job for Boots, which was a 2-day shoot.
That was
and
nice.
It was huge.
That was nice.
And I actually thought, this is fine, I can do this. It never happened again.
I can totally relate to that, and I was literally thinking about it only the other day, because I'm beginning year 9 of where my route post post working in corporate stuff, which I absolutely hated for a long time, and not regret, I never have regrets, but thinking, oh, I just spent so long doing things that I hated, and the thing that I wasn't loving wasn't at the front. The thing that I was loving wasn't at the front. And so my first proper job came from, and it was actually, I started the conversation on the day that I handed my resignation in, so it was like a double thing. I was thinking, oh, this is going to be brilliant, because at this point I would have been chatting to the lady, and the lady in question was Dr. Carol Coombs, OBE, absolutely amazing woman, totally inspirational, and it was like, again, a tick box exercise from what I wanted. It was what she wanted as well, which was she was dying. She would die shortly of a neck cancer. She was proud of who she was, where she was at the time. She loved Birmingham being represented, and she wanted to show like her humanity. I will carry on with this because, but we booked a session. We met up at Snow Hill Station. We took some pictures around there. Then we did about a 2 to 3 hour walk around Birmingham. And there's a couple of shots that I just think, oh my God, this is so great, because there's a picture of her nearby the old, it's dead wax now, but on there's some hoarding behind her, and someone graffitiing, never mess around. So there's that, and there's a really nice pose, and there's one where she's in the middle of the street, and you see the cars, and it's just her contact, and it's just her, and she's telling her story, and there's ones where she's talking just the way random strangers would want to talk to her, and I absolutely loved it, and I thought she was just an amazing woman. And then I dropped her off at the train station, and I drove back over Spaghetti Junction, and I cried. I was emotionally involved with her and through the photography, and it was one of the early times when I started. I would go back to that image. There was about half a dozen images I just knew, and I was so passionate about them.
It's reaffirming.
Yes, and then she went into the John Taylor Hospice, and then we were texting a little bit, and I think it was about 3 weeks before she died. I mean, she's still got an incredible sense of humour, and she was saying that the medication that she'd been given, and she ballooned in size, and she said, I look like Ursula. And I said to her, I said, well, if you're ever at a swimming pool, let's do a Little Mermaid Ursula thing. And I think, had she had the strength, it might have happened. And I just love that, say, her sense of humour about herself, and the understanding the reality and being positive for other people. So on that point, let's wind it up. So, peeps, have a great day.